Okay. Now we'll be going from the easiest mission to one of the hardest missions in the game.
More good news.
Do you want to attempt it?
If you want to, yeah, I'm down.
Okay. So yeah, after like everything, I'll explain like the battle plan because we're gonna need to. It's basically gonna be a holdout match until we get the forces we need to decimate the base. But yeah, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Citizens of the world, the Empire of the Rising Sun has risen. The day of our destiny has arrived. Do not struggle against what is inevitable.
Don't struggle, you two.
The Soviets resisted and suffered for their arrogance. Do not make the same mistake. Survival is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. Life or extinction.
It's a lot
It
of
is up
white
to you.
people for Japan.
You disapprove.
That was supposed to be the world.
No, all Japan.
We should not have given the Allies the option of surrender. We should have attacked without warning and annihilated them.
What's the canon
They will
ending
not
to this
resist
game?
my
I
son.
assume America, right?
Not after
Yeah, the
seeing
Allies.
our crushing of the Soviets.
But father, we have intelligence from my spy. Deep within Allied command, they are planning an attack on our base at Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor? Impossible.
Is it?
It holds so many of our sacred shrines. It houses half our fleet. It would be foolhardy for
You
them
do
to...
not understand how they think, father. The Allies believe we are inferior to them. They always have. That is why we must show them no mercy.
Do what needs to be done. Bolster our defenses. Prepare for the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Kind of crazy timeline.
It's Pearl Harbor now.
Yeah.
The Allies
In this
are attempting to
storyline.
take
This
control of
timeline's
the
crazy,
Hawaiian
though.
Islands, a sacred
Sexy,
and
but
strategically
crazy.
important part of our empire. They think this will be a surprise attack, but General Tatsu has constructed a plan to flank the enemy and crush them with our mighty battleships. You must protect Pearl Harbor and all our cultural treasures there. Drive them back into the sea.
Our position at Pearl Harbor must be defended. You have been chosen to repel the Allied fleets. Your orders are as follows. Establish a defensive perimeter in anticipation of the Allied attack. Do not allow the Allies to desecrate our monuments to the Emperor.
Okay. So again, this is going to be a really rough mission because the
Gotcha.
Allies are going to hit us fast and they're going to hit us hard. It's going to be gone in 3 phases. First phase is basically just trying to set up our defenses as quickly as we can. You will have a base on the right side of the harbor, while I'll have a base that's in the central bay on the left side. We'll need to defend. Basically, I'll be defending the docks on the left side, and then there's 3 different like statues we'll need to defend on your side and in the middle of the map. You will be given a small garrison, I think of 2 Tengus, 2 tsunami tanks, 2 subs, and then 2 striker choppers, or striker VX, whatever they're called. You will also be given, I think, 2 engineers, a few infantrymen, and then like a tank buster. You will also be given 5 defense corps. On the map, on the right side of the map where you see the shoreline next to your base area, I need you to set your defensive corps there because the Allies are going to send basically an assault force of destroyers trying to breach the harbor. With the infantry that you have for like the riflemen and the tank busters, there should be a large building that's next to that shoreline that you can garrison them in. If you build like 5 more tank busters and garrison them in there as well, they'll do really effective in holding back the Allied assault destroyers that try to come into the harbor in that way. I'm going to set up my defensive corps at the central strait that leads into the bay, along with the tsunami tanks and the mecha tengus that'll help defend it there. And then I can help send whatever force is needed to help defend the dock on the far left side. Phase 2, when it begins, the Allies are going to just start sending all their stuff. They'll send like Dolphins, hydrofoils, APC transports. They'll also have bombers paradrop troops into the harbor itself as well. I'm going to try to garrison infantry that'll counter all of that. But basically, we just need to, once Phase 2 begins, we need to hold out until the battle fleet arrives. In the middle of Phase 2, we should get a vanguard of cruisers that'll come in to help defend the harbor. They'll be very helpful in trying to repel Allied ships and eventually aircraft carriers that are going to try to bombard from afar, which we can send them out to counter it that way. Basically, the long part of the mission is just holding out until the battle fleet arrives. Once the battle fleet arrives is when Phase 3 begins, and it's going to be very difficult because we need to send in a fleet. We'll be given a fleet of cruisers, subs, and then Shogun battleships. Shogun battleships are the naval unit that basically wipe out all structures, which we need to use them to basically besiege and destroy the Allied base out in the sea. The Allied base is going to have a lot of airfields and docks, and they're going to start cranking out choppers and aircraft carriers, which can potentially ruin our day. One thing that you can do while you're holding out the harbor is build like a small force of mecha Tengus and then use them into jet mode when we get in Phase 3. You can use them to help defend against air units that come in during the second phase, but I would keep them away from the sea because the enemy has hydrofoils that'll knock them out of the sky pretty quickly if you go out too far.
Gotcha.
But yeah, basically set up defenses. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention another thing. There are 3 radar towers on the map as well. It'll tell us at the beginning of the mission. I'm going to send my 2 engineers to capture 1 radar tower in the center and 1 at the left side of the harbor. There's 1 radar tower on the far right. You can send an engineer to capture that one as well.
Gotcha.
Alright, I think I've covered everything. Do you have any questions?
It sounds like I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm probably start building Tengus and subs if I have the option. Subs for, of course, all the sea-based stuff, and then Tengus for everything else. And then I'll probably start building turrets. I'm going to see if I can like stagger them everywhere, and hopefully that can slow down whatever infantry is showing up.
Yeah. But yeah, if you set up your 5 initial turrets on the shoreline to the far right, and then if you garrison the large structure with tank busters, you should be able to hold that side of the harbor very effectively. And then basically you can do whatever you need to hold off the enemy on your side while I hold them off on mine. Once the battleships arrive, that's when we're going to actually start assaulting and taking out the base. Basically just keep your battleships back, because the enemy has like missile turrets and like prism towers that can take out our fleets if they get too close. But if you hit them afar with the battleships, we should be able to wipe out the base.
Gotcha.
Alright, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go.
Get ready to pre.
The Allies are rapidly closing in on our position with a massive naval force. Crown Prince Tatsu has more for you.
Defend the harbors, Commander.
Oh,
we
boy.
cannot let the Allies take control here. Hold out until I send in our battleships.
Alright, here we go.
Did you seriously give
New
me...
objective received.
Defender Corps.
First
The
of all,
Allies' naval forces gather in the northeast preparing to strike. Our Defender VX space defenses may be used to block their way. Building. Position your Defender VX space defenses in close proximity to the monuments and harbors for optimal coverage against the Allies' attacks. The long-range radars here may be activated to reveal the enemy's movements. Capture them with your engineer. New bonus objective received.
Contact location Defender Corps. Set for Corps on Defender Corps. Site designated.
No.
Defender Corps. Moving to unpack location. Defender Corps.
Building captured.
Unpack location set. Defender Corps.
Construction complete.
Hey, what the hell?
Construction complete.
Oh, what am I doing?
Building. Construction complete. Training. Construction complete. Radar towers online. Our battlefield visibility has been increased.
Alright, good job.
Construction complete. Building.
Where's that other defender core?
My ancestors smiling upon.
Mhm. Can you say the same thing, Imperial?
Our ally has placed a beacon.
Well, so much for the
Justice.
surprise party. But that's alright with me. I prefer going toe-to-toe anyway.
Here we go. Here,
Our
begin
ally
phase
is
2.
under attack. Construction complete. Building. Our base is under attack.
Striker, standing by.
Construction complete. Repairing.
Alright,
Loyal to the end.
come on, get over there.
Claim the seas for the Empire.
I am your servant.
Did you hear that?
Our base is under attack.
This way.
Construction complete.
We will wait there.
Our ally is under attack.
God, those dolphins hit like really hard.
Building.
Oh no.
here. Let's go. Jet Tango, top speed. We do not stray. The warrior's path.
Our base is under attack.
Ushi, to the seas. Ride with honor. Flying high. Burning air. In position. On our way.
Looks like they're para-dropping inside the middle.
Yep. I got some garrison units that can help take them out.
Got some destroyers, it looks like, coming up the middle.
Oh yeah, they are hitting the middle. That's new. They're usually coming on the right side. That's interesting.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh shoot, they're actually heading the opposite direction now.
A unit is under attack. Our base is under attack. Our ally is under attack.
They made one of my tanks really small, the sons of bitches.
Oh yeah, those choppers are terrible. They're gonna be like really obnoxious.
Our ally is under attack.